Look, guys, here's something I've been sitting with and sort of pondering and thinking about for some time. And it goes back to men and their struggles, especially in the modern West. The fact of the matter is, men are struggling. But not all of them are lazy, not all men are broken, and they're certainly not unmotivated. Yes, there are plenty that are, don't get me wrong, but I'm not talking to them or at them. There's this sort of, low level sort of restlessness and frustration that a lot of guys simply can't explain, put words to, or wrap their head around. And look, this video is not about fixing everything. I don't have a prescription here. You stay to the end. I'm not going to give you the answer that solves all of your problems and any of life's riddles. It's just not what this is about. What this is about is naming actually what's going on. So that leads me to my next point, what this video is actually about. And why am I talking about this now? So I'll revert back to it. Men are struggling. They are lacking direction, purpose, and sort of mission. And my job here, is not to motivate you. I'm not here to posture like some, social media jackass or sell you anything. Let's get that off the table right away. Look, I lived the corporate life for 2+ decades. I retired as the vice president of sales about a year ago. I've chased achievement. I'm done with that. About a year ago, I retired. I've pared and stripped things back. I've sort of simplified my life. I created this channel because I wanted to think more clearly. I wanted to help others do that and think out loud, sort of bounce ideas out there, see what comes back. See if I can help some guys. And even if there's one guy I help, super. But the goal is to help a heck of a lot more and make some impact. So here's one of the things again that I noticed. And this was readily apparent and probably one of the biggest problems right now. Men in the West, again, notably the West, the United States, are way too comfortable. Argue with me if you will. This is an incontrovertible fact. And this comfort is absolutely destroying men. Mind, body, spirit. There's endless inputs, like we just talked about, social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the old PRON word, the prawn hub. You guys know what I'm talking about. There is just so many endless inputs and there's zero integration to it, guys. Everyone is reacting and few people are making moves and choosing. Social media, constant advice from all the gurus and all these snake oil that are going to tell you how to fix your problems if you only give them a few bucks, watch their videos, buy their program, whatever other bullshit they're peddling, right? And busy guys does not mean meaningful ever. Watching TikToks, scrolling through Instagram, and watching YouTube videos is not getting work done. You may be busy, but you're accomplishing next to nothing. And again, not every guy is directionless, but what they are is overstimulated. I go into the scientific data, but it's very easy to see. Most guys' dopamine receptors are absolutely fried. Why? Well, talk about the aforementioned prawn, that's going to fry them. But just simply watching these 30, 60, maybe 90-second short form videos and content, it fries your brain. I don't know how many, I talk to young guys, nobody reads anymore. Nobody can even pay attention to a video that goes more than 5 minutes half the time. And if you're still with me, I appreciate you because I think, we're pushing in on 5 minutes. But the fact of the matter is, guys, young people especially fall into that TLDR. Too long, didn't watch, whatever. They just can't stay focused. Again, not entirely their fault. It's been engineered this way. And humans weren't built for this life of comfort and ease. We were not built for frictionless lives. So before, in our ancestral past, the discomfort was used to shape our identity. You had to fight to kill your food. You had to fight to stay alive. You had to fight to run away from, predators. Humans were often the prey. again, in their ancestral past, life was not easy. But those who could deal with the discomfort and grow, those are the ones that passed their genes on. Those are the ones that made it through. And that's why discomfort is so important. In our world now, we have to actively seek it out. Can you even imagine talking to your grandfather, great-grandfather to the 100th degree? Hell, even a few generations back. And you got to tell them that you go to some building in your car, your $100,000 car, drive to a building that's air conditioned to work on machines and apparatus that sort of strain you for an hour or so. Yeah, I'm talking about a gym. We have to seek out, we have to pay for this discomfort. It's insanity, right? And here's another thing. This sort of getting away, shutting it off, silence, solitude, and challenging yourself. Those are things that are sort of gone the way of the dodo bird. Identity is sort of outsourced to algorithms and trends. People become these sort of archetypes. They buy into ideologues and the ideology, and it becomes their identity. I'll use a real easy example that I'm sure all you guys can relate with, especially if you've been on the internet, in the male spaces, if you will, for any length of time. This sort of alpha male bullshit archetype. I'm an alpha male. Well, I'm here to tell you, and I won't go too deep into it in this video, but you have to tell somebody that you're an alpha male, or anything else really, you're not that by proxy. People tell you what you are. You don't tell others. And telling others you're an alpha male, the only thing it signals is that you are not an alpha male. So there's just not enough guys reflecting, thinking, and why this is. And I've been there too, guys. I went, kind of on that deep male self-improvement rabbit hole, and it's deep. And once you get down it, you sort of kind of form this identity. I kind of had this, I don't know what I would call it. It wasn't alpha male, but maybe playboy identity. In getting conquests, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about, was sort of how I that was my identity, and it gave me this sort of inflated ego. But at the end of the day, it didn't help me. It wasn't productive. And honestly, it was kind of a waste of time. Yeah, it was something I did. I can't change the past, but it just sort of was a waste of time. And here's the thing, guys. Yeah, you and like myself, I didn't need more motivation. I had plenty of that. But I needed fewer inputs. And one of the things I really needed to do, I really needed to raise my standards. So what did help me sort of regain clarity or, sort of get back to baseline and stop doing this, I don't know, you can call it self-destructive or at least non-productive behavior? Like I said, living this playboy, man about town lifestyle. Maybe I grew up, maybe got a little older, a little wiser, but I don't know about that. I think more of it was I just had enough of myself and enough bullshitting myself. So there wasn't any hacks, there wasn't a YouTube video, it was just me with me. I had to tell myself I was going to have principles and I was going to have standards, deliberate routines. Now, guys, when I talk about routines, I'm not talking about waking up, reading Marcus Aurelius, putting your face in a bowl of ice, jumping in the sauna, then a cold plunge, I don't know, whatever else is out there. Routines, guys, these things in and of themselves are not bad. Don't get me wrong. These things aren't bad. But again, to have that as your identity, it's a zero-sum game. You're not going anywhere with that. But you do have to live deliberately. You have to, again, routines are important. Waking up early each day, not laying in bed, training. Guys, you should be training every day, and I don't give a shit what that means to you. But you need to be doing something. Running, lifting, any sort of martial arts or fight training, or mix up all of these, climbing, hiking, anything. Guys, you need physical activity. That has to be in every guy's routine. That is literally a non-negotiable. reading. Guys, I write and I read a lot. That's my book there. If you haven't bought it yet, here's my plug. This is the one plug. I am here to sell you something. Buy the book. It's like $10. Anyways, guys, reading. And I mean pick up a book. I get it. Not everybody likes paperback books. I love them. But even if that's not your jam, use Kindle or hell, do Audible. I won't shitty on you too much in this video for using Audible. At least you started reading. But you get my point, guys. Think deeper. Books make you think deeper than some 30-second video by some jackass on TikTok. Thinking before you react. Guys, way too many of you, I've been guilty of this myself, of reacting emotionally. Think. Take a second before you react. You gotta remember, guys, there are a lot of decisions. When you make knee-jerk decisions, you can't take them back, whether they be actions or words. Think before you speak. Coming from the old guy, listen. Take a second, guys, and think. And then choosing your inputs intentionally. So, guys, this is a big one. And I like a lot of people are kind of pushing this as we hear in 2026 early in the year. But think of it as the concept is, in its Latin, is via negativa. What that means is you actually get better by removing bad or sort of toxic things from your life. Not adding routines, not adding more to your plate, taking shit away. What can that mean? Well, that can mean watching less social media, less prawn, less sitting in front of the TV at night, less eating garbage food, eliminating toxic friends. People in your life, if they don't make you better, they gotta go. And this is family, this is friends. You don't have to eliminate them entirely, guys. I get it. They may have been around a long time, but if they're not bringing value to your life, they have to go. And again, this goes to other things in your life too. These are tangible things. If they don't provide a benefit to you and you don't need them, then get rid of them. So, this is not, again, it's not an instruction manual. I don't have the 10-step process to make you better and fix your life. What I can do is offer inputs that have worked in my life, shit that hasn't worked, and sort of help you forward, and we work together. Like I said, it's my, I am always taking input from other people. But again, I've been around the block a few times, guys. I think I have some wisdom that can be sort of impactful, especially for you guys if you're sort of drifting. So, core principles of mine: discipline, but not an obsessed discipline. I mean hardcore, everyday, consistent discipline. Absolutely a non-negotiable, all right? I'll speak on masculinity, but without the sort of red pill, alpha male, whatever you want to call it, theatrics and bullshit. Guys, listen, I've sort of gone down that road. I know what it's all about. I see the guys still out there. There's no shortage of them. And one disappears and another pops up. We can talk about masculinity in what it, they say, not means to me, but it's sort of core tenets and principles that are absolutely timeless, not this hijacked bullshit. It's about reading, writing, and learning. Guys, you may not want to write like I do. I write books. But I'm just saying, whether it be journaling, I don't want to use that term, just writing your thoughts, do a brain dump, get it on paper, read. Guys, an absolute core tenet of mine, you must read. Even if you started with a page or two a day and worked yourself to 10 pages a day, 10 pages is 30 minutes. We all have that. If you tell me you don't, you're full of shit. And the other next thing I would tell you to do is look at your phone and look at the usage on social media. You got 30 minutes to read a book. And then travel. Guys, I'm a huge proponent of travel, whether it's inside your sort of country, the United States is huge, you can travel there, or internationally, as I prefer to do, we travel all over. But not as escapism, and not to go to some all-inclusive resort and get wasted for 6 days straight, only to fly home and start over again. No, that's not what I'm talking about. As perspective, to see the world as it is, to see other people, other cultures, to open your eyes. So many folks are so freaking closed-minded, it's ridiculous. That's what travel does. It really opens your perspectives. Trust me. Go to a sort of a rundown area. I was in El Salvador last year. Go see how these people in tin shacks live, and they still have a smile on their face. That's the perspective I'm talking about, guys. And then building a life that doesn't require these constant distractions. You can put your fucking phone down for a few minutes. Go outside and get some sunlight. Go on a run, God forbid, or a walk without headphones or anything else. Just listen to nature. Smell the air, the sun, the trees, the leaves, the water, whatever. Quit being so distracted. My channel is not, self-improvement. Will you improve? Yeah. Will you improve yourself? Yeah. Does it make it self-improvement? I don't know. It's just being about a better version of you than you were yesterday. That's what the goal is. This is about self-direction, getting your life going the right way. So, guys, do me a favor. If this resonated, I've got a lot more coming. This is just the first video. I've got tons of things on my brain that I want to get out there to you guys. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. I appreciate you making this far in this first video. And if you did, guys, do me a huge solid. I'm trying to grow here, and this is just, the initial, but do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's going to help me, and it's also going to get this video out to more guys in the same situation. So the other thing is comment. I read all the comments, whether they're on my Instagram or here on YouTube or whatever. I read these, guys. I may not be able to get back to all of them, but I read these, and they help me, again, put more output out there, more content for you guys, but it also gives me an idea of what you guys are thinking, what you're stewing on. So don't just sit there, guys. Clarity, to get that clarity and to find the next step forward, you got to sort of put yourself out there. You've got to ask questions. You've got to engage with other people. Again, clarity isn't, it's not something you're going to go find. It's something you build quietly and over time.